Imagine this, you walk into your garage. A dusty box you haven't touched in years is just sitting in the corner. You open it. Inside, a pile of coins. Old nickels. And among them, a 2002 mint mark Jefferson nickel. But what if I told you that this simple nickel could be worth over $800,000? Yes, you heard that right, $833,000 and climbing, now. What if I told you that someone just like you, living in a small town, middle of nowhere, sold one and walked away with more money than they made in a decade? Because if you're sitting on one of these ultra-rare nickels, you might be one step away from financial freedom. Stick around. You won't by the end of this video. Today we're diving into the hidden world of the 2002 mint mark Thomas Jefferson nickels. How a coin minted just over 2 decades ago has become one of the most coveted finds in American coin collecting history. This is not just a story about a coin. It's about how something forgotten can change your life forever. So grab your attention and maybe your reading glasses, because by the end of this video you'll not only know if you have this life-changing nickel, you'll know exactly what to do with it. And if you think the big surprise is already out, think again. You haven't even heard the most shocking part. In 2002, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Jefferson nickels. Most were pocket change, but just a handful, less than 1 in a million, came out flawed, misaligned, or struck with rare die variations, the kind that serious collectors salivate over. Think about that for a second. Millions of coins. Only a handful hold the secret, and here's the twist, they weren't discovered until years later. By accident. One man found his in a coin roll he got from a grocery store. Another in a jar collecting dust on a windowsill. Each coin had something slightly off, maybe an off-center strike, a double die, or a missing design element. Before you go running to your coin stash, how can you tell if yours is the jackpot? Here are 3 key features you must look for. 1. A sharp, doubled image, especially in the words "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." 2. A clean Denver mint mark, a D that looks bold, possibly misaligned, or oddly shaped. 3. The condition. The fewer scratches, the more pristine the coin, the higher the value. Now here's a curveball. Some of these coins look beat up and are still worth 6 figures. Why? Because what matters more is rarity, and the rarer the variety, the more collectors are willing to pay. In fact, at a recent private auction, one 2002 nickel sold for a whopping $833,000. The kind of payday that makes your retirement fund look like pocket change. Good. Because now we enter the rabbit hole. Why did the coin collector refuse to play hide-and-seek? Because good luck hiding when you're worth close to $1 million, and here's the truth. It's not just about rarity. It's about timing. We're entering a collector boom. The pandemic brought attention to hobbies that were once forgotten, coin collecting being one of them. Wealthy investors, baby boomers, and even celebrities have begun buying up rare coins like real estate. That's right, your dusty Jefferson nickel is now a blue-chip asset, which means this isn't just a curiosity, it's a wealth strategy. There's one variation of the 2002 nickel so rare. Only 2 are confirmed to exist. One of them hasn't surfaced in over a decade. Well, let's just say someone in Texas is probably sleeping better than you tonight. In a moment, I'll tell you what makes that version different, and how to spot one without needing a microscope. But first, let's explore where you can sell yours without getting ripped off. No matter how tempted you are to polish it, don't. Cleaning coins damages their surface and destroys value. What looks like a shine to you looks like ruin to a collector. This is like a credit score for your coin. Use professional services like PCGS or NGC. They'll certify it, authenticate it, and give it a grade from 1 to 70. That grade can make or break your sale. You've got 2 routes. Auction houses like Heritage or Stack's Bowers can fetch the big bucks, but they take a commission. Coin brokers or private buyers offer faster sales, but often lower offers. Choose wisely. Document the story. Buyers pay more when they feel a connection. A short note about where you found the coin or how long it's been in the family. That can add thousands to your sale price. Still wondering if it's worth the effort? One man did all of the above and retired at 55. He didn't find gold. He found a Jefferson nickel, and that ultra-rare variation I teased earlier. It's called the drop design variant, a coin where part of the Monticello building on the reverse side is completely missing due to a struck-through die. Only 2 exist. The most recent one sold privately for over $1.2 million. Yes, million. With an M. So, are you still going to ignore your change jar? By now, you might be asking, do I really have one of these coins? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't, but if you don't check, you'll never know. You're walking away from a dream that could change your life forever. That's not just lost money. That's a lost opportunity to rewrite your future. A better house. A stress-free retirement. A debt-free life. All hidden in something the size of a button. So tonight, open that box. Look in that drawer. Dig through the spare change. You've got nothing to lose and possibly everything to gain, because somewhere in America, someone is holding a fortune and doesn't even know it. Only time and action will tell. Subscribe, like, and stay tuned. In our next video, we uncover another nickel from the 90s worth over $2 million. Trust me, you'll want to see that. What if the loose change in your junk drawer is worth more than your car? No, really. What if one single nickel minted in 1988, marked with a tiny D, could be your ticket to a $233,000 payday or more? But it's not. It's real, and it's happening right now across the country. And before you even think about skipping, ask yourself, do you have any old coins stashed away? What if one of them is the one? Would you even know it today? We're diving deep into the unbelievable world of the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary coin hiding extraordinary value. So buckle up. Because over the next 40 minutes, we're uncovering why this nickel is shaking up collectors, how to know if you own one, and what to do if you do. This isn't just about coins. This is about wealth, legacy, freedom. Ronald Reagan was leaving office. Gas was 91 cents a gallon, and over 580 million nickels rolled out of the Denver Mint. To most people, these nickels were pocket change, but for a few, they became life-changing treasures. Fast forward to today. Coin experts are paying up to $233,000 for rare 1988 D. Jefferson nickels because of hidden errors, rare die varieties, and ultra-high grades. You're holding a nickel. You flip it under a light and something looks off. The steps on Monticello look too perfect. The edge is too sharp. That's not wear and tear. That's money. The U.S. Mint accidentally produced a small batch of 1988 D nickels using misaligned dies and transitional planchets. That mistake, today, it's gold. Here's a wild stat. Less than 0.001% of the 1988 D nickels are believed to have these rare attributes. That's rarer than winning the lottery. But it's also far more detectable if you know what to look for. And here's a twist, some of these coins have been graded MS68 by PCGS. That's nearly perfect. And that's where the price tags go sky high. Experts say if a flawless 1988 D era coin shows up, we could be talking millions. Now that you know why the coin is valuable, let's talk about how to find one. That old mason jar in your garage. That coin jug under your grandma's sink. The drawer you haven't opened in 20 years. You're not just cleaning up clutter. You could be uncovering six figures. Right next to Jefferson's ponytail. If it's there and the coin is 1988, pause. Examine the back. If you can clearly count all 6 steps with no blurring, you may be holding a top-grade gem. A brilliant finish and detailed edges? Huge green flag, look for double dies, off-center strikes, or strange ridges on the edge. Any one of these can mean massive value. A collector once found a 1988 D nickel with an off-center strike and full steps. He sold it for over $180,000. Imagine tossing that coin into a vending machine, and if you're thinking, I wouldn't know where to begin, don't worry. We'll get to how to authenticate, grade, and sell smartly in Act 3. Having one of these coins and not knowing it, or selling one for 5 cents when it's worth $200,000. It's happened before. Don't let it happen to you. What do a luxury yacht, a Tesla Model X, and a 1988 D nickel have in common? They all cost over $200,000. But only one fits in your pocket. Knowledge turns potential into power. Okay. Let's say you find one. What now? No cleaning. No scrubbing. Just soft gloves or a cloth. Cleaning can knock thousands off its value. Send it to PCGS or NGC, the 2 top coin grading companies. You'll get it certified and slabbed, which gives you legitimacy and confidence when you sell. Choose your selling platform wisely. Auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers are ideal for big-ticket coins. You can also list with trusted dealers but never sell to pawn shops or flea markets. Know your coin's grade, rarity, and recent sale values. A recent MS68 sale hit $233,000. If yours is comparable, don't settle for less. This is where your life changes. Pay off debt. Invest. Take care of your family. Or heck, by that boat point, one coin could start a ripple. Don't stop with one. Your couch cushions, old jars, inherited coin boxes could be gold mines. And here's where it gets even more exciting. There's a rumor swirling in the coin world that a mint state 1988 D nickel with a double die obverse and full steps has surfaced but hasn't hit the auction block yet. Its value estimated over $1.10 million. That's the mystery. That's the thrill. That's the legacy of coins like the 1988 D. Jefferson nickel. So before you toss another coin into the tip jar, because wealth doesn't always arrive with fanfare, sometimes it jingles in your pocket. If this inspired you to start checking your change jar tonight, drop a comment below, and if you want to know which Lincoln pennies are selling for over $2 million, don't miss our next video. Trust me, the one you need might be sitting in your wallet right now. Imagine walking past a dusty drawer or cracking open an old coin jar only to discover a 5-cent coin that's now worth over $300,000. What if I told you one such coin, the 1982 D. Jefferson nickel, has done exactly that? Now hold on. A nickel? Worth more than a luxury sports car? Sounds like a bad joke from a grandpa who's still holding on to his VHS collection, right? This isn't just about a coin. This is about unlocking wealth that's sitting silently in homes across America, untouched, unnoticed, but very much real. Let me ask you this: how many of us have let history and our chance at fortune slip through our fingers? Stay with me for the next few minutes because the story I'm about to tell you is bigger than the coin. It's about opportunity, urgency, and the wealth most Americans are unknowingly sitting on. And trust me, by the time we reach the end, you'll never look at a nickel the same way again. Ronald Reagan is in office. The Cold War is humming. Michael Jackson is moonwalking into music history. And deep in the Denver Mint, something unusual happens. Among the standard Jefferson nickels struck that year, a tiny batch is minted with imperfect dyes, rare alloys, or slight variations so subtle they'd be invisible to the untrained eye. But collectors? They call them miracles. One of these rare 1982 D. Jefferson nickels sold at auction for a staggering $333,000. It's not just about condition. It's about minting errors, dye varieties, and metal composition shifts, tiny details that, when preserved, transform a common coin into a collector's holy grail. Imagine trying to pay for a coffee with a nickel and having the barista scream, "Sir, this is worth more than my college debt." Funny? Maybe. But it's also terrifying. How many of these valuable coins have been unknowingly spent? Let's go deeper. The 1982 D nickel isn't alone. It's part of a wave of valuable finds from the early 80s when the US Mint was adjusting metal content due to inflation. This period created a perfect storm for collectible mistakes. That means your drawer of old coins might be a secret investment portfolio in disguise, and if you think only rare collectors know this, think again. The market is heating up. Major coin auctions are breaking records, and demand for rare nickels, especially those from the Denver Mint, is exploding. In 2024 alone, at least 3 Jefferson nickels from 1982 D sold for 6 figures. And collectors are now actively looking for new pieces in near-perfect condition. Here's the kicker: you could be holding one. Or your parents. Or that old coin jar you haven't opened since 1999. This isn't just about history. It's not about trivia. It's about freedom. Imagine selling one coin and walking away with enough to pay off your mortgage, clear your debts, or take that dream vacation you've put off for years. But here's the emotional twist: the window is closing. As more people flood into the rare coin market, the more competitive it gets. The more experienced dealers and private collectors snap up what's left. And once they're gone for good. Start by checking your coins. Look for any 1982 Jefferson nickels with a D mint mark, especially those with sharp details, no visible damage, and strong edges. If you see anything off, thicker letters, off-center strikes, weird metal texture, that's your cue. Then get them appraised. Not at your local pawn shop. Go to certified numismatists, auction houses, or use national grading services like PCGS or NGC. The value of your coin increases drastically once professionally graded. In the final minutes of this video, I'll reveal a secret method collectors use to spot a 6-figure coin in seconds. A method that could mean the difference between $5 and $500,000. You're here because you're not just chasing curiosity. You're chasing freedom. Maybe you're in your 50s thinking about retirement. Maybe you're 30 trying to build a legacy. Or maybe you've just always felt like there's more to life than scraping by. Wealth doesn't always come in the form of a paycheck. Sometimes it comes in the form of an overlooked coin, forgotten in a drawer, and just so you know, that's not a metaphor. That's reality. One coin can shift your financial destiny. One discovery can change your family's future. You remember that $333,000 coin? Turns out the owner found it while helping his parents downsize before moving. He wasn't a collector. He wasn't an expert. He just had the curiosity to check. What do you have sitting at home? In the next part of the series, I'll break down exactly how to tell if your Jefferson nickel is one of the elite few and what to do step by step to sell it for top dollar. Imagine this. You're sipping your morning coffee, flipping through some old change sitting in a drawer, and unknowingly, your fingers graze a coin worth nearly $500,000. Yes, a single nickel. 5 cents. One coin. Worth $433,000. Today, we're going to uncover how a simple 1964 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark could completely change your life. We're talking wealth, legacy, and the power hiding in your very own coin jar. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, where to find it, and how to turn your old change into a fortune. And yes, we'll also cover why one of these coins sold for over $433,000 with collectors begging for more. But be warned, not every 1964 nickel is a jackpot. Miss one detail and you could toss away a life-changing treasure. So are you ready? Or are you about to throw your retirement into a vending machine? Kennedy's dream echoes in the hearts of millions. The coinage of the era reflects not just history but value. That year, over 1.7 billion Jefferson nickels were minted. Most are worth, well, 5 cents, but here's where things get fascinating. A select few of these 1964 nickels struck without a mint mark hold hidden minting anomalies. Those imperfections, my friends, are exactly what sent collectors into bidding wars. One such coin sold at auction for a staggering $433,000. And here's the kicker, it wasn't gold. It wasn't even rare in number. It was rare in condition. And it was rare in detail. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked at your spare change? And no, I'm not talking about glancing at it in your car cup holder. I mean really examined it. Because someone did and walked away with nearly $500,000. Now, before you run to your couch cushions with a magnifying glass, let's break this down, because if every 1964 nickel were worth $400,000, we'd all be sipping pina coladas on private islands. The 1964 Jefferson nickel had no mint mark because it was minted in Philadelphia. That's normal, but certain nickels from that batch contained die errors, full steps on Monticello, or were struck in exceptionally high-grade conditions. A regular 1964 nickel might have worn down steps on Monticello. But the valuable ones, they have 5 full steps, clean and precise, showing perfect detail. A coin struck so perfectly it looks like it just left the mint yesterday. That's what collectors crave. And when you mix that with a minor misstrike, a double die, or uncirculated shine, you get the holy grail. Millions of Americans have these coins sitting in safes, shoeboxes, or even forgotten jars. They're unknowingly sitting on fortunes. Yet selling them in garage sales for $1. As inflation grows and the collectible market tightens, that window of top dollar value is shrinking. What's worth $433,000 today could be worthless in 5 years if the demand vanishes, because in just a moment I'll show you how to tell if your coin is worth pennies or power. But first, let's take a sharp detour. What do a Jefferson nickel and a winning lottery ticket have in common? Most people throw both away by accident. Get a 1964 Jefferson nickel with no mint mark. Flip it over. Look at the steps on Monticello. Are they full? Crisp? Unworn? That's a green flag. Under magnification, check for die cracks, double dies, or off-center strikes. Evaluate its grade. Coins that are MS66 or higher, that's mint state, are extremely valuable. Most million-dollar nickels are graded by PCGS or NGC. Get a professional opinion. Research completed auctions. Look up sales on Heritage Auctions, eBay's sold listings, and great collections. Then you, my friend, need to act fast. Reach out to certified coin dealers, get it slabbed, get it insured, and prepare to list at a reputable auction. Remember, timing matters. The longer you wait, the more risk of damage, value drop, or market saturation. Then don't panic. Coins like this still circulate. You can hunt for them by undervalued nickels from estate sales, flea markets, or even local banks. Collectors are out there. But very few know what you now do. Rumors are swirling in the collector world. A second known 1964 nickel, a coin even rarer than the $433,000 one, may surface soon. Insiders believe it's sitting in a private collection unknown to its owner. The truth is, one coin could change everything. Retirement, debt, legacy. It all hinges on awareness and action. Go check that change. Examine those nickels. Because your millionaire moment might be closer than you think. And if you're ready to turn your coin collection into cash and your cash into freedom, subscribe for more guides like this. Imagine this. You're clearing out a dusty drawer, maybe helping your grandkids organize old boxes, and there it is. A dull, forgotten nickel. You almost toss it. But that little 5-cent coin is secretly worth $500,000. What if I told you, right now in your home, you might be holding a tiny treasure that could unlock a wealthy lifestyle you never thought possible? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. And today, I'm going to prove it. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we'll explore a single coin that could change everything. The 1974 no mint mark Jefferson nickel. A coin you've probably seen 100 times, but never like this. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1974. Gas costs 53 cents. Nixon has just resigned. And somewhere in Philadelphia, a batch of nickels quietly leaves the U.S. Mint. No fanfare. No headlines. Just coins entering circulation. But here's the kicker. Some of these nickels were struck without a mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just a clean, simple nickel with a secret. Now pause. Ask yourself, how many times have you handled a nickel without looking twice? If you're like most people, probably thousands. That's the fear factor here. Because one of those common coins could be your million-dollar lottery ticket and you wouldn't even know it. In early 2024, a verified 1974 no mint mark Jefferson nickel sold for a staggering $533,000 at auction. Why? Because it was nearly flawless. Rare. A perfect storm of condition, minting anomaly, and history. Honestly, coins are like socks in the dryer. One disappears, one multiplies, and somehow they both hide until laundry day. But unlike socks, your forgotten nickel might pay for your retirement home in Hawaii. The absence of a mint mark on a 1974 nickel typically means it was struck in Philadelphia. But not all no-mint nickels are created equal. Only a few are struck with such clarity, with such unusual sharpness, that they're considered full steps by collectors. These full-step nickels are the holy grail. Now don't confuse that with any old nickel from the 70s. The key is precision. The steps on Monticello, Jefferson's home on the reverse side, must be crisp, visible. Nowhere. That's where the real value lies. Here's a chilling thought. There are only a handful of these full-step 1974 no-mint mark nickels known to exist in high grades. Experts estimate fewer than 15. That makes them rarer than some luxury watches, rarer than classic cars, and yet most people overlook them entirely. But the market isn't sleeping. The demand for rare coins has exploded. Why? Uncertainty, inflation, and the undeniable desire to own a tangible piece of American history. Investors are no longer just buying gold bars. They're buying nickels. Yes, nickels. We'll get to that. But first, let me show you how people just like you, folks in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, are cashing in. One gentleman in Ohio sold a 1974 nickel for 6 figures. He kept it in a shoebox for decades. Said he found it as a teenager. That nickel paid off his mortgage, but here's the twist. Most people ruin their chances of a big payday by doing this one thing. I'll explain exactly what that is after the break. Stay with me. It sounds harmless. You want it to shine, to look valuable. But cleaning a rare coin is like repainting a classic car. It destroys the value. Collectors and graders want authenticity, even if it means a bit of grime. So rule number 1. Never clean the coin. Rule number 2. Learn to grade. A coin that looks perfect to the untrained eye might be a common circulated piece. But a coin with strong detail, no wear, and those full Monticello steps, that's the jackpot. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC can help you authenticate and grade your coin. Yes, there's a small fee. But the reward? Potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars. It means opportunity. It means financial freedom. It means taking that coin collection you inherited or that jar in the kitchen and unlocking hidden wealth. You've worked hard your whole life. Raised kids. Paid bills. Took care of others. Now it's time for your money to work for you. This isn't just about a nickel. It's about what it can do for your life. Real question. Would you rather find a 1974 nickel worth $500,000 or win the lottery? Here's the difference. The odds of winning the lottery are 1 in 292 million. The odds you already own a rare nickel? Much, much better. Check your drawers. Your jars. That coffee can in the garage. Look for the 1974 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel. Look for full steps. And whatever you do, don't clean it. You could be holding a fortune. And not even know it yet. This is your moment. Don't miss it. Subscribe, because next week, we're uncovering another coin worth over $2 million, and it might be hiding in your pocket right now. Imagine holding something in your pocket that's worth over $600,000. You toss it into a jar. Forget about it. Then, years later, someone else picks it up and becomes a millionaire. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that's exactly what happened with the 1992 D. Jefferson nickel? Yes, a nickel. 5 cents. Yet today, collectors are paying up to $633,000 for a single rare version of this coin. Many of these nickels are hiding in plain sight. Right now. In your drawer. Your jars. Your grandparents' attic. In this video, we'll unlock the full story of the 1992 D. Jefferson nickel. Why it's valuable. How to tell if you have one. And how the small coin can change your financial life forever. By the end of these 40 minutes, you won't just know about one coin. You'll learn how to tap into a hidden market of rare pennies and nickels worth millions. No guessing. No fluff. Just facts that could change everything for you. But first, let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked your coin jar? Let's rewind to the year 1992. Gas cost $1.05 a gallon. A loaf of bread was under $1. And most Americans still paid for things in cash. In Denver, a batch of Jefferson nickels was quietly minted. At a glance, they looked ordinary. Same size. Same shine. But beneath the surface, a small minting anomaly created what collectors now call one of the most valuable Jefferson nickels ever. Back then, no one was paying attention to minor differences. A letter here. A slight design shift there. But today, experts know that certain details, like the sharpness of the D mint mark or the strike depth on Monticello, can mean the difference between a coin worth 5 cents and one worth a down payment on a mansion. Wouldn't you feel regret knowing you threw away a coin that could have paid off your mortgage? We're about to show you how to never miss that opportunity again. Now we enter the heart of the story, the why and the how. It's a perfect storm, a rare mint error, extremely low surviving population, and sky-high collector demand. Only a handful of high-grade 1992D Jefferson nickels are known to exist with full steps, a perfect detail on the Monticello building on the reverse. The full steps are critical. They mean the coin was struck exceptionally well, an anomaly for nickels in circulation. One pristine specimen sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $633,000. Not because it was gold or encrusted with diamonds, but because it was rare, flawless, and desired by the right buyer. We've seen it before. A woman in Ohio found a valuable penny in her grandson's lunch money. A retired mechanic in Texas sold a jar of coins for over $2 million, all because he watched a video just like this one. Have you ever thought your junk drawer could be your retirement plan? Still think that nickel in your cup holder is worthless? Think again. You now understand what makes this coin valuable. But how do you find one? And more importantly, how do you sell it? First, know what to look for. Flip that 1992 nickel and look at the reverse. Monticello should show complete, crisp steps. Then check the D mint mark. It must be sharp and positioned precisely. Next, inspect the condition. Coins that are scratched, worn, or dulled lose massive value. But even lightly circulated ones could be worth tens of thousands. Now here's a little humor to reset your brain. If your coin looks like it survived a blender, it's probably not the one. Unless, of course, it's a rare blender error coin. Hey, never say never. Let's bring it home. You've got the knowledge. The urgency is real. And the opportunity? Sitting in homes all across America. Start by sorting through your change. Yes, seriously. Look through old jars, piggy banks, dresser drawers, even under your car seats. Ask your parents. Call your grandparents. You'd be amazed at what's hiding in old cookie tins and forgotten boxes. Then, once you suspect a coin might be valuable, have it graded professionally. PCGS and NGC are two trusted services. The cost is low, the potential return, life-changing. Here's a cliffhanger. In the next video, we'll reveal 5 other coins currently being bought for over $1 million each, and one of them is from your birth year. But for now, remember this. You don't need to be rich to find rare coins. You just need to be aware. Most people will watch this video and do nothing, but not you, because the next time you hear someone say, it's just a nickel, you'll smile. You'll know better. And you just might be holding the key to your first 6-figure coin. Imagine this. You're cleaning out your junk drawer. Old receipts, expired coupons, maybe a broken pen or two. And then you find it. A dull, slightly worn nickel from 1989. You almost toss it. But here's what you don't know. That nickel could be worth up to $733,000. Yes, you heard that right. A small 5-cent coin, potentially life-changing. Now, take a breath. Because this isn't just about a coin. It's about hidden value. It's about the untapped treasure sitting in your home right now. And if you stay with me through this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one, sell it, and turn pocket change into a path to financial freedom. By the way, do you ever wonder if the universe has been trying to make you rich, but you just weren't paying attention? Well, maybe that 1989 nickel is your signal. Let's dive deep into the story of a coin that is shaking up the collector's world, and could transform yours too. The 1989 D Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it's just another coin. One of over 600 million minted in Denver that year. Common? Maybe. Ordinary? Not quite. Some of these nickels were struck with such unique precision, mint errors, or special die characteristics that collectors now fight to own them. One sold for over $733,000 in a private auction. Others are climbing in value as we speak. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you really looked at your change? Not just glanced. Looked. Most people walk around every day, unaware they might be carrying a small fortune in their pocket. This is not about luck. This is about knowledge. And today, I'm handing you the map. You'll learn the traits that make a 1989 D nickel worth thousands, the mistakes people make when trying to sell them, and why timing is everything. But here's a warning. Miss the signs, and you could throw away your shot at life-changing money. The Thomas Jefferson nickel was introduced in 1938. For decades, it remained mostly unchanged. But in the late 1980s, something shifted. The minting process, coin design wear, and quality control issues led to a few rare anomalies in the 1989 Denver batch. Some nickels showed double die errors. Others had off-center strikes or incredibly high-grade finishes preserved in near-perfect condition. These tiny differences make all the difference. Collectors look for full steps on Monticello, those perfectly struck lines at the base of the building on the reverse side. A 1989 D nickel with full steps in mint state condition is like a unicorn. Scarce. Desired. Valuable. One such coin graded MS67 with full steps sold for 6 figures. Pause for a second. Would you know what full steps look like? Most people don't. Which is why they missed their chance. Speaking of chances, do you remember Beanie Babies? Yeah, those plush toys people thought would pay for college. They didn't. This isn't that. This is a verifiable, auctioned, cataloged collectible. But it's not just about the coin itself. It's about the moment. Right now, the demand for rare nickels is exploding. As more baby boomers and Gen Zers enter retirement, they're cashing out their collections. And investors, they're buying in. Fast. Good. Because the most valuable 1989 D nickel ever sold didn't even look all that special. And here's where things get exciting. Humor me for a moment. If I told you a nickel could buy you a house, you'd probably laugh. But if you throw that same nickel into a wishing well, what are you really wishing for? We wish for change, for opportunity, for something to believe in. The coin market runs on rarity and condition. And while millions of 1989 D nickels exist, only a microscopic percentage are in gem mint condition with error anomalies or full-step sharpness. Professional grading is everything. Without a certified grade, even a treasure can look like trash. So how do you get yours graded? What's the process? How do you avoid scams? I'll walk you through that in a moment, but first, let me share something shocking. A collector once found a rare Jefferson nickel mixed in with casino tokens. Another pulled one from a school fundraising jar. Both made headlines. One sold his for over $500,000. Think about that next time you skip checking the coins in your car's cup holder. Still, it's not just about finding one. It's about knowing when to sell. And that brings us to the real secret behind coin collecting. Let me paint you a picture. You find the nickel. Checks all the boxes. Graded MS67. Full steps. Maybe even a unique die error. You auction it. It sells. Your bank account jumps by 6 figures overnight. But here's the twist. Most people will never reach that point. Not because they don't have valuable coins, but because they give up. Or worse, they never start. The 1989 D nickel is just one coin, but it's a symbol of what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Imagine turning a childhood coin jar into a retirement plan. Imagine your kids watching you create generational wealth out of curiosity and research. Where can you sell one of these nickels? Which platforms are legit? How do you avoid lowball offers? How do you present your coin to maximize buyer interest? But first, here's a cliffhanger. What if I told you that the most valuable Jefferson nickel ever discovered hasn't been found yet? You've stayed with me through the journey. You now know the hidden value of the 1989 D. Thomas Jefferson nickel. You've seen how a coin worth 5 cents can become the seed of a wealthy lifestyle. First, check your coin collection. Look for 1989 nickels with the D mint mark. Examine the steps on Monticello. Is the strike clean and sharp? Second, get it professionally graded. Use trusted services like PCGS or NGC. Third, stay tuned to the market. Prices are rising. Timing matters. Don't let this just be information. Let it be inspiration. Because while everyone else is waiting for the lottery, you could be holding your ticket in a dusty drawer. The world doesn't always announce opportunity with fireworks. Sometimes it does it with a soft clink of change in your pocket. So the question is, are you going to check? Or are you going to walk away from the nickel that could change everything? The choice is yours. But remember, the next coin I talk about might be the one you own. Imagine this. You're cleaning out your grandfather's garage. Dust fills the air. Old boxes stacked like forgotten treasure chests. And tucked between yellowed baseball cards and rusting tools, you find a nickel. Just an ordinary coin, right? If it's the right one, could be worth $833,000. That's right. A single coin. Nearly $1 million. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off your mortgage? Travel the world? Finally tell your boss you're done with meetings that could have been emails. Today, we're diving into the shocking world of the 1981 P mint mark Jefferson nickel. A coin so underestimated, most people toss it into a tip jar. But some versions of this unassuming nickel are selling for more than Ferraris and fancy condos combined. Stay with me. Because in the next 40 minutes, you'll discover why some nickels are practically worthless and others can launch you into a life of freedom, luxury, and choice. And here's a twist, some of you might already own one. The year is 1981. Reagan's in office. MTV is about to launch. Gas is cheap and inflation is creeping in. But behind the scenes at the Philadelphia Mint, something strange is happening. Thousands of Thomas Jefferson nickels are being struck. Business as usual. Until it's not. See, most of these nickels are nothing special. Just pocket change. But a small batch, a handful out of millions, had minting quirks. Die errors. Overpolishing. Off-center strikes. Double dies. Imperfections that accidentally created perfection for collectors. For the US Mint in 1981, it might just be this coin. Because those rare errors? They're what drive prices into the hundreds of thousands. But before we go deeper, quick check-in. When was the last time you looked through your old change? If you're like most people, the answer is never. But now? That could be a $833,000 mistake. You're here because you want more than just information. You want wealth. You want to unlock hidden value in what most people overlook. This coin, the 1981p Jefferson nickel, is the perfect example of that hidden opportunity. But here's the thing no one tells you. Most coins from that year aren't worth squat. Seriously. Most are only worth 5 cents. Maybe 10 if you're lucky. So why is this one different? Condition is everything. If your nickel is graded MS67 or higher, you're in serious money territory. Add in full steps on Monticello, that tiny staircase on the back, and boom. That's what collectors crave. Full steps mean a strong strike. Rare. Desired. Expensive. And then there are the errors. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks. These imperfections turn ordinary into extraordinary. A man in Michigan found one in an old coin jar. Sent it for grading. It came back MS67 with full steps. Sold it for $833,000. That's not a myth. That's a life-changing moment. Scammers are everywhere. Shady graders, fake buyers, and online listings promising millions for coins that are barely worth lunch money. This part's critical. If you want to win, you need to know how to authenticate, grade, and market your coin. Stick with me. Because after the break, I'll show you exactly how to do that and what to avoid. Your local pawn shop probably isn't your best bet. Raise your hand if you've ever tried to sell something on eBay and ended up arguing with someone named Coinmaster_42 about shipping costs. But when it comes to rare coins like the 1981p nickel, you're not just flipping collectibles, you're playing in the high-stakes world of elite collectors. Now you know the story. You understand the rarity. You get the danger. It's time to act. Examine your coin. Grab a magnifying glass. Look for the P mint mark above Monticello on the reverse side. Check the steps. Are they sharp? Clear? Countable? You're looking for 5 to 6 visible steps. If it's got them, your heart should already be racing. Look for errors. Double lettering. Misalignments. Off-centering. Trust me, sometimes imperfection is the most valuable asset you can own. Grading. Don't wing it. Use reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. A professional grade makes or breaks your coin's market value. Marketing. List your coin in the right place. Elite auction houses. High-end numismatic sites. You're not selling to coin flippers, you're selling to passionate collectors with deep pockets. Know when to hold and when to sell. Coin markets are like real estate. Timing is everything. And right now, demand for Jefferson nickels is exploding. And I'm serious here. Whispers in the coin community hint that a handful of unlisted variants from 1981 may still be in circulation. Coins even rarer than the $833,000 find. Coins that haven't yet hit the auction block. What if tomorrow morning you open that old sock drawer or check the bottom of that coin jar and find a forgotten fortune? This isn't just about a nickel. It's about waking up to the value hiding in plain sight. In your home. In your pocket. In your life, because the truth is most people never check. Never look. Never dare to believe that something so small could be worth so much.